Hey beauty, do you love Jesus, but man, do you really love chocolate too? If you're tired of yo-yo dieting or feeling out of control with food, if you're ready to stop feeling stressed about what to eat, when to eat, and how much to eat, if you're ready to have peace in your body, then join me and my friends for this free Food Freedom Summit where we'll help you learn how to beat binge eating, emotional eating, sugar addiction, and yo-yo dieting through the truth of Jesus Christ. We will have honest conversations about what food freedom is, why so many of us are trapped by food issues, and we'll give you practical strategies to help you break free from these food chains and walk in true freedom, food freedom in Jesus. But you only get access if you register. So register now at www.catsharp.com/Summit Alexandra. I will put a link in the show notes. So if you're interested, come hear me and some friends speak on how to have food freedom. With all that being said, let's get into the show. Welcome to Her Holistic Healing. Do you want more energy and less anxiety so that you can do all the things? Are you searching for meal ideas, essential oils, and other holistic treatments? Do you wish you could know which direction to take with your health so that you could finally feel better? Hey, I'm Alexandra. I love Jesus. I'm a wife, mom of 3, and registered nurse with years of experience in clinical research. I also wanted more energy so that I could have more fun and keep up with my growing child. I too was confused about all the different diet and treatment options. I too wanted to wake up every day and feel good, but I felt anxious because I couldn't solve the mystery of my health. Until God showed me that He is the source of true healing. In this podcast, you will learn holistic treatments and Bible truths that will lead you to the peace, joy, and freedom that you have been hoping for. So what do you say we take a break from the mind-numbing humdrum busyness? Let's rest and let God be our healer and helper. I've been thinking about the book of Jonah. If you're interested in another episode that I did about Jonah, you can go to episode 14. I've been thinking about Jonah because a few months ago, I was talking to a friend of mine who's been struggling with health issues, and she said that she feels better when she works when she does something creative, when she works on this business that she's been thinking about. She says that her health is better when she does these things. So I started to think that maybe we have health issues because sometimes we're not doing what God created us to do. We're not being the person He created us to be, or we're just being completely disobedient. If you look at the story of Jonah, God told him to go to Nineveh and talk to the Ninevites. Of course, he didn't do that. He got caught in a storm, and he ended up in the belly of a big fish. If we can imagine how Jonah felt in the belly of that big fish, he certainly wasn't at peace. It was probably smelly. He was probably scared. As far as I know, none of us have been stuck in the belly of a big whale, but sometimes we're not at peace because, like I said, we're not living the life that God intended us to live, and that of course can affect our health. When I was growing up, I always thought that I would maybe get a master's degree or a PhD or some kind of doctorate. My worth was very much wrapped up in what I could achieve. I'm not saying that getting your doctorate is bad or anything, but I wanted to climb the corporate ladder. I considered myself a career girl. I'm just so thankful that God surprised us with a baby in 2012. We got married in 2010. We had a surprise baby in 2012 and 2 babies after, all wonderful, wonderful kids. We weren't planning on that first baby till later, but I think that God used that baby to show me who he actually created me to be. I thought that I was supposed to be a career girl and climb the corporate ladder, but I'll never forget when it was the end of maternity leave and I had to leave my daughter for the first time with someone else. I didn't feel like, it's dramatic to say I felt like a knife went through my chest. It didn't hurt that bad, but I think it did physically hurt to leave her every morning. I was just so upset. I was just so sad. And I think God blessed us with a baby when he did, to show me that climbing the corporate ladder and being a career girl was not necessarily what aligned most with who I was, with who he created me to be. Once again, I'm not saying that it's bad if you climb the corporate ladder and you have kids. I'm just saying that this is what he was showing me. And so whatever stage of life that you're in, whatever you're going through right now, I just want you to think about it, to reflect, to ask God, is there something in my life that you want me to change? Is there something that you've been trying to tell me that I've been disobedient about? You can ask him, who has he created you to be? If you look at your job or your relationships or how you spend your time, does it align with God created you to be? Are you loving God with all your heart, soul, and strength? Are you loving others? Sometimes we can do things in church, or we can do charity, or do all these things that maybe God didn't even call us to do. Maybe he has another purpose for you, something that you've never even considered before. I thought about this today because the past few weeks I've just been feeling unmotivated to do things. I've been kind of down, and some things have happened that weren't supposed to happen, and I wasn't expecting it. So I was kind of just going through the motions, going through the day. And today I had to prepare for this Food Freedom Summit that I am a speaker for. And I didn't want to do it. I just felt like I have nothing good to say. I don't know what to say. I'm supposed to inspire people, but I don't feel very inspired. Well, I'm not the type of person to just cancel, unless God tells me to cancel. So I started thinking and practicing about what I was going to say. I just started talking. And then after about 20 minutes, I just felt so motivated. I just felt so inspired by, this is going to sound weird, by what was coming out of my mouth. But what was coming out of my mouth was what God has been teaching me these past few years. And my face just lit up. For whatever reason, I think God has me in this season to have this podcast and to speak at certain places, which is really funny to me because when I was younger, I didn't like to talk at all. And I still don't really like to talk, which is really funny that I have a podcast. If you want to hear a little bit of my story, you can go to episode 3. But the point is that once I started doing what God has called me to do at this time, I just felt so much peace and so much joy. And I just want to feel that all the time. I just want to know that I am obeying God. I am doing what He's created me to do right now. I am living out my purpose. Honestly, I don't understand how people don't believe in God, because everything is pointless without God. There's no point to anything without God. And I don't say that in a judgmental way or a shameful way. I don't understand, because without God, I would feel like there's no hope anywhere. So I just want to encourage you to spend some time with God. Ask him if you're walking in your calling and in your purpose, if you're being the person that he created you to be. Ask him if you've been disobedient in certain areas of your life, because this will affect your peace and ultimately your health. I'm so glad that you took the time to listen today. If you like what you heard, will you leave me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts so that this show can reach more people? And if you want to connect with me, go to herholistichealing.com. Before you go, I want to leave you with one of my favorite passages from Matthew 29. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls.
For you, it's easy and my burden is light.